Okie dokie. So we got I saw your post on YouTube about game reviews. Had a game that we recently won, but I feel like I made many mistakes during, and it's a good game to show what I need to improve on. D.Va Winston. I'm a low masters tank, but I feel like my gameplay is mid to high masters. But I feel like I always spiral on a losing streak, and that's why I don't plan. Now look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you were mid to high masters, you would be mid to high masters. Like, does that make sense? Like, like your gameplay is like a low masters tank. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, think about it. If you didn't go, let's say, right, if you didn't go to the gym, you can't just say, well, I feel like I go to the gym. Well, no, you don't, because you don't go to the gym, right? It's like it's the same thing here. Like, you feel like you're a high masters, but like you're not, because you would be high masters if you are. But that's not the point anyway. I want to have a second pair of eyes to see my gameplay, because I feel like I'm blind to my own mistakes, as per typical with a lot of people. It's not just you. So I can improve with a second perspective. Yeah, sure. So I don't want to delve too deep into how to play these heroes, because I think at this level you probably understand how to play them. And unless I see any egregious macro mistakes, mostly going to be focused on. Well, I mean, I am going to be looking at macro, but like the gameplay loop should be pretty fine. I just want to see like how you play in general. Okay, I mean, we're just eating damage. I mean, like, this is fine. You don't really need to do anything right now. So, man, it would have been nice. No, like, it would have been nice if you had any of your defense matrix left, so that you could use this rocket to stop your Lucio from exploding, right? So, the first thing that I'm already noticing, and I'm not going to go over this too much, is that you're kind of using your defense matrix for no reason. You don't need to take these guys damage. Just, like, go behind the wall. You can literally just wait for them to come in. And then, or, like, if you do want to take damage, like, just take the damage. It's okay. Because then you can give your supports ult charge, right? But you don't need to use your defense matrix unless it's something big. And then that way, you would have it for when the Pharah peaks, and then your Lucio dies. You could have prevented that, right? So, like, whilst, like, you could say, oh my god, my Lucio is just fucking trolling, you could have done something to stop that. Alright, so yeah, big thing. You're taking too much damage instead of just letting your health regen and letting your defense matrix regen. Playing tank is like a 50-50. Half the time, you're going to be doing nothing because you're waiting for your cooldowns to get back. And by nothing, I don't mean like sitting behind a wall. I just mean chilling, maybe doing a bit of damage depending on what hero you're playing. You know, maybe Monkey, you're like poking behind a wall with your right click rat. Like 50% of the time, you're basically just going to do nothing. Because if you try and do too much before you actually can, you're going to lose a lot of your resources, right? Your defense matrix, your health, stuff like that. And your healers are going to have to heal you early, which means they can't do damage, which is just not very good. And I said healers, I meant to say supports. Don't fucking judge me, okay? And then the other 50% of the time is when you actually want to get active and do stuff. So here you have the touch. I mean, it is what it is. Not really a whole lot to say here. I mean, we're kind of just in a desperate situation caused by what you did earlier, right? Winston coaching. I've not done Winston coaching in so long. So here, this is just too early, right? One, they can just run away. And two, can anyone on your team actually follow up on this, right? A big thing with like Winston and D.Va is that they want follow-up. And not necessarily for the thing of like, oh, I need to get healed. No. You want follow-up so that your team can shoot the enemies that are getting distracted by you. Right now, none of these enemies are really distracted because there's only you on their screen. Wait up here. Maybe wait for them to get closer, poke, maybe go over here, try and shoot people. You don't always need to be going in and in. That's kind of the first thing that I'm realizing, right? Because now you have no bubble, and you can't do anything for the next, like, 12 seconds after that, right? Again, we're just going in too early. No one on your team can do anything. Wait for them to walk into, like, a kill box, right? And a kill box is just where, like, this is kind of a kill box, right? Because your teammates can shoot them, and then you can also engage them from the side, and now they're in this box of doom. You need to chill out, bro. Wait. You keep going in too fast, because now that you can't go in because you have bubble, and like and now you don't have bubble, if you try to go in now and try and shoot this Ashe, you would just die because you don't have bubble. What I want you to do is instead, you can just chill up here, shoot a bit, like don't drop, shoot. They're gonna eventually either walk around you and try and avoid you, or they're just gonna ignore you then they're gonna walk in. They're gonna try and shoot, for example, like this Ashe does. And now, imagine if you had your bubble. You could drop, shoot this guy, bubble so that he can't shoot your team, and that would be a good time to engage. But instead, one of your teammates dies because you're not going in. Now, you get nanoed, which is good stuff. Nice. I mean, like, was that a good play from you, or was that a good play from your Ana? That was a good play from your Ana to Nani, right? You haven't actually done anything yet. No offense. So now we're just poking, chilling. This is fun. There's not really much else to do. One thing I would say is just play on the high ground. It's just gonna be way easier to set up your engages here, and plus you can actually shoot people easier. Okay, you have primal, so I don't actually hate this. So the reason why this timing is good is because there is like a gap, right? Like the Domina's all the way over here, and she's kind of isolated. You didn't even need to jump over here basically, because Domina already died, and like the fight's already over. But like I do like the idea. I don't want you to primal. Okay, cool, good. If you can do that and not die, that's fine. Like before the fight, that's chill. This is fine. I actually don't mind this. I wouldn't drop so early, because now you're actually in a good position. Like, yeah, the Wu Yang's up here, but like you could probably chase this guy. Stay on this high ground now, because this is a really oppressive position. And guess what? Wait for them to walk in, drop on their backline, and then there's just nothing they can do. Because here, you see how early you drop? Oh, the Pharaoh's there. I didn't realize. My bad. My bad, bro. But like, if the Pharaoh wasn't there, then that would have been really good for you. Right, we're committing. Go in. Good. Separating the backline. Don't overextend for a kill like this, right? Like don't physically overextend. Just stay in your bubble. Go for a right click. If you miss a couple of times and you don't kill him, that's fine. Go out and do something else. You don't really need to chase this guy, because he's already out of the fight, and there's people that your team is actively fighting here. So who would you rather fight? A guy that's all the way in spawn and can't contribute meaningfully to the fight, or would you rather go back and fight people who are actually doing stuff? Like here, you do not need to be back here. This is so unnecessary, right? Once you kill this Wu Yang, turn back, and then when you see the Mercy going over here, oh, okay, so like, you just have no supports. I'm gonna just go back on the Ashe because she has no supports, right? And then by the time that the Mercy reses, you've probably already killed the Ashe, and then you could jump on this guy. But then it's already too late because they're so far away, right? So like this is just kind of, I mean, like, good counsel, right? But you don't even need to do this. You don't even need to use your primal. This is literally unnecessary. This is like a waste of a primal. Okay, just gonna shoot this guy. He's in the bubble. Good bubble. Your Winston so far is looking a lot better than your D.Va. But it's just some like cool mistakes of like overextending on people and your timing. The timing is like the bigger issue here. Now, I don't know what your Shion's doing. That was really stupid. Now, why do you think that was a bad idea? I'm gonna let you watch it from the Bastion's POV, okay? Why do you think this jump was a bad idea? Because you jumped in his face and just gave him basically an early Christmas. And the reason you did this is because you saw the Orisa low and you were like, oh my god, I can do stuff. But again, no one on your team can follow up on this. Also, this is like a second issue that kind of comes up with this. You're jumping into all 5 of them in front of their faces. You're going to get shredded and die. Literally, all you need to do is just wait on the higher ground, shoot, wait for them to walk forward. You don't even need to do anything, right? Because now you've tried to do stuff too early and in front of their faces, and you've ended up dying, right? The 2 biggest things that tank players do, specifically like dive tanks, is they go in too early and they go in front of all of the enemy's faces. This is fine. You have to force out the Mercy and stuff. It's just chill. You get barraged. Not much you can do. It is what it is. We're back on D.Va now. Okay. So yeah, with Winston, you're going in too early and you're going in front of the enemy's faces, right? You can fix those things super easily by just chill maxing. Just chill behind a wall, see who's distracted, see where your team is, and then you know where to jump in. Okay, we're going on the Bastion. I wouldn't get greedy though. Okay, so right now, this is a really strong choke. We don't need to do anything but sit right here. Literally stand in this exact position, and that's what you need to do. Because reason number one why you want to stand over here is you don't want to take unnecessary damage from like this window, right? Because you're not really gonna get any follow-up. Reason number two why you want to stand here is because this is the corner that's gonna stop, that's gonna allow you, sorry, to like try and deter the enemies from walking through. Because you see how the Orisa just walks in. If you were standing over here, you can't stop the Orisa from going in, sure. But you very well can stand here and defense matrix the damage coming from these guys who are trying to follow up. Because right now you're too focused on the bridge and you let them walk through. You are still playing a tank and you don't want to let people walk through. And that's why you want to sit on this corner, wait for the enemies to do stuff. Bro, you're on defense, bro. You don't need to do anything until they do stuff. Because like they have to push the payload. So by you trying to actually do stuff, you end up doing nothing. And then because you're doing nothing, the enemy team could just walk in. And oh wow, we killed the Bastion. Oh wow, we're distracting the fight. It doesn't really matter because the fight is already over. Why? Because the play you made at the start fucked it, right? And that's because you're trying to do too much. That's like your big core issue. You're not chill maxing enough. You need to chill on a corner and wait for things to happen. Because like I said, you're kind of skewing the 50-50 where it's like you're trying to play in like a 80-20. You're trying to do things 80% of the time and chill 20% of the time. That's not really possible. Good kill. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that was a good kill. I'm not sure what they're doing. We can just go for the Orisa now because she's fighting our team. DM that. Nice. Okay, cool. That was like the first good fight you had. Very good. And now, literally just sit here. Just chill here. I'm gonna imagine that was a misclick. It happens. I get it. Literally just sit here. You can contest every single area they can come from. Over here, the bridge, middle, this gate over here. You have full control over the map. All you need to do is just wait here. Nice. Just break the shield here. Make sure to the... Okay, you don't... okay, cool. I was going to say you don't need to fly into this guy, but he got put low HP. The reason why I said don't fly into him is because... Like, at first, he was low HP, but then you got lucky because your Ashe hit a couple of shots on him, and then he got low. Literally, all you need to do is just defense matrix his shots so that your team can get behind the wall. But like, that was a good play there. Right now, we have no DM. Get out. This is the 50% where we chill now. We have no missiles. We have no defense matrix. The Orisa's forward. Just fly away to, like, over here. Fly away over here. Get your cooldowns back. Don't try and go in because now you've got nothing, right? You have nothing. Stop trying to go in. You can't do anything. You're gonna take unnecessary damage and you can't do anything. You see how when you're trying to engage, when you don't have stuff, you're in this weird like limbo where like you're kind of doing something, but you're not really doing anything. But like you're not playing safe either. You're just in this like limbo where like you're getting no value from like either or. You play safe to get your cooldowns and your health back, and you play aggressive to do damage with your cooldowns. But you're not doing either of those things. You're just in this like cursed limbo zone. You don't really want to be in that zone. Because you are literally not doing anything. You would be better off, literally, and I'm not kidding, just chilling here and just waiting for them to walk forward. Defense matrixing any shots that might kill your team. Because right now, because you're in the limbo, you know, I'm actually going to make a video on this. Sorry to kind of stop this. I need to note this down. This is a good idea. I'm just going to call it tank limbo. Going in, but doing not a lot. Not playing passive to get resources. Okay, sorry, I had to write that down because that's a really good idea that I just got. So yeah, you would literally be better off just playing here, waiting for them to walk in and just DMing people. Because like, cool, you're flanking, but none of them are going to be killable because they have all of their cooldowns because they haven't actually had to really fight anyone, right? Because like you've been in this like limbo zone, and it's just been really easy for them to just kind of ignore you because like you're not hiding, which means they can shoot you for free, but you don't have resources to actually engage, so like they could just shoot you for free and get a ton of value. Alright, we're on ball. I heard they messed up the camera for ball and it just feels bad to play. Good slam. Right now, like same thing here. You don't want to take too much damage before the fight starts because now you actually want to engage people. you want to have all of your health. Like, this is good, right? You saved your HP, you saved your cooldowns, you were able to kill the Wu Yang. I wouldn't go for the Pharah here. I would go for the Mercy, but in this case, she's using Barrage on you, so you have to go for the Pharah. But I would have gone for the Mercy there. See, now you need to get out, get healed. And now you've got healed a little bit. Now you can just go in, go for the Mercy, nice, and then we go for the ball. Okay, cool. So far, your ball gameplay has actually been your strongest, right? So what are some key issues that I'm identifying? Number one, when you do engage, and it's like not horribly like done, you're doing it too early, and you're going in front of their faces. Obviously, too early means that your team isn't going to be able to follow up. And going in, and usually it means that you're going to have all of them look at you. And going in front of their faces makes it easy to react to you, and it makes it easy to know what you're doing. It makes it easy to use cooldowns on you. But I'd say your big thing is that you're stuck in this like limbo zone, where like you're trying to do too much, but because you're doing so much, you don't really have any of your resources to actually kill people or live. And you're also not hiding to get healed and get those cooldowns back. You're just in this limbo of like doing nothing. Well, like you feel like you're doing stuff, but like you're not actually doing anything. So you can just kill this guy because he's overextending. So what is the difference between before and now? Right, the Cass already uses cooldowns. You're already really close to him. You have all of your cooldowns, and then you can just run him down. That's ideally what you want. Oh, don't let them res. Don't let them res. Don't let them res, Murph. Don't let them. No. Unlucky. Okay. Nice. Okay, good. We've taken high ground. That's unfortunate on the Shion's spot. She probably shouldn't have died there. But I'd say when you are flying on the high ground, don't go too far forward, right? Because like you're kind of skipping steps, right? So first you start on the ground so that your team can actually get forward a little bit. And then because you don't want to take a bunch of damage, you're going to fly on the high ground. But don't fly all the way over here because you're skipping a step. You want to fly just up here because if the enemies do walk in like they do now, you can defense matrix these guys until they back up, and that's going to help your team live. And then when the enemies have kind of given up this space, that's when you can move over here because your team isn't going to die, right? You see how they're just going in forward and then they just kill your team? You could have prevented that by just going like a step slower. Low ground, high ground, but still close enough to DM. Force them out, or just shoot them, right? You can shoot them from the high ground. Force them out, and then make your next step. Again, we just needed to get out there, right? Honestly, you'd be better off just going in spawn and repicking your character, right? Because like, you're close enough to spawn where it doesn't really matter. And like now you're just staggering, right? Just go back to spawn, repick your character, and you're good. This is fine. Good. Okay. So yeah, we're just trying to do too much. You don't always need to be doing stuff. You need to move like from corner to corner, like sequentially, right? It's like force this guy out. He's gone. Okay, now look around. I think this is one of your biggest weaknesses because you don't even realize your team is just all the way back here, not really doing anything. And like this isn't necessarily your fault, but you need to understand that, and you understand that by looking around, right? So get here, force the Cass off the high ground, and then chill. Look around. What's going on? Maybe try and defense matrix anything that she's doing, right? If she spears, eat that. Then, once you see where your team is, make your next move. Maybe fly over here. And now you can be a distraction. You can wait until they use cooldowns or shoot them from above, right? You don't always need to be doing stuff. This is your big problem, right? You're just always trying to do stuff shooting, but then like you're losing HP, you have the defense matrix, and then when you do want to engage, you can't do it because you don't have anything. So again, you're stuck in this limbo, right? You need to take the chill pill. Just chill. You don't need to fight these guys. You have no defense matrix. You can't. It's not possible. You can't fight them. Literally. Just chill here. Let them walk into you. That way they get put in danger, but they're probably not going to do that, which is good for you because you can just get your matrix back, right? Like, chill, bro, chill. Please, just chill. You don't need to go in. Look at your health. No health, no defense matrix. There, Orisa made a really dumb play. Let her do that. Fly up here, get your cooldowns back, get your health back, and then make a move. You can even, like, go on the payload if you want. But just get your stuff back. Please, for the love of God, chill. You do not always need to be doing something. It's like, this is like whatever because you have an advantage, but even still, you got D-Max, right? And you had to use your bomb. Just chill. You have supports. Turn around. Let them heal you. Get your defense matrix. Get your health back. Then go in. I'm surprised you won this game. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, with how you're playing, I'm very surprised you were able to win this game. And like, by the way, it looks like on the scoreboard, you're doing bits. You're just fucking doing everything. And you are, because you're playing tank. But you as a player, there's a lot to be desired, right? Like, you are playing very much kind of like a slot machine. You're just kind of going in. Hoping that something happens, hoping that people use their cooldowns in bad ways, and then like you just kind of get lucky, right? Because like, hey, you do not need to go in. This is not your job. Why? Because you don't have cooldowns, right? Once that bob's in, once they've used the like the Yang ult, just fly up. Just get to safety. Get your cooldowns back. They've already had to use a bunch of cooldowns, right? They used 3 ultimates here. Back up. Once they use ults, they now have to come to you, and whilst they're coming to you, you can get your cooldowns back. And then once they touch the cart, you have all of your cooldowns. They have none of their big ones, and then you just beat them. Instead, you fly further in when you don't have your defense matrix to live this, and then you get demech, and then you die. And the only reason you cap the point is because your team carried you. So it looks like you're doing a lot, but I'm gonna be honest, it's just your Ashe. It's just your Ashe doing, like, she's deadlifting you right now. Your Ashe is literally your father, okay? She is doing everything for you. So just chill, back up. This is fine, go. Like, we're just in. We're just in all the time. You don't need to be in all the time. Go in, get value, get out, get cooldowns back. Go in, get value, get out. That's how these heroes are played, right? You don't like you can't go in on these guys. You can't. When you see this, you fly away. In, out, and now chill, right? We're in the out stage. We just chill. We can poke around the corner. That's fine. But no. Look at that defense matrix. Look at that health. We do not have all of our resources. This is bad. Because guess what? When we do end up over here, oh wow, we're dead, bro. My support's so bad. Why did I not get, you know, life gripped or nanoed? Because you're in a shit spot, and your team can't do everything, right? Just like despite your Ashe actually doing everything, they can't do everything, right? And like I'm not saying this like flamey, but like really, you need to take the chill pill, okay? This is good. Eating down as we're going in. We're flying up. Okay, good. So like this is called a setup, right? You're not going in, but like you're in a position where you can go on people if you need to. This is good. Slowly moving forward. This is fine. This is chill. Not much you can do about that. The Ashe kind of fed. I would like you to stop shooting the tank as much. Like force this guy out. Like she's already out. You don't need to chase this guy anymore. Like she's already behind our corner. I would like you to set up on the high ground and try and deal with these guys, right? Because these guys are going to be a lot more dangerous than the Orisa down here, right? You know, you could even DM this guy. And then your Ashe dies because you weren't paying attention. And like now, oh look, I'm flying up, but it's too late, right? They already got the value on your team. It's too late here. You can go for the fire if you want, but make sure to get out. Yeah. Wow, she's really used that platform, huh? So here, I would just try and get out because you're in a very unfavorable fight. A bit of micro, and I'm saying a lot of things at you, but a bit of micro. When the Orisa's using her spear spin on you, there's no point using defense matrix because she isn't actually shooting anything at you. Like using DM here doesn't stop you from taking damage. Just save it so that when she does finish her spear spin, she can't shoot. Okay, we forced the tank out. Now I want to try and see us go on some squishies here. Nice, good. We're in a good position here. Nice. Okay. You get stuck on the floor. I've low-key done that before. This is fine. See, like, this is fine. I'm okay with this. As long as you don't take too much damage, you don't use too much of your defense matrix, I'm actually, like, okay with this. Because slowly, by not going in, and only going in, like, sometimes, you're actually making more space for your team. Because every time you do go in, you're making it more effective. And I'm going to draw a graph for you at the end of this so that it kind of starts to make sense. And like you're getting baited up by your team. You almost died because you didn't have enough defense matrix. Like you see how, because you used it so much over here, for kind of no reason, right? you almost didn't have enough to actually live the dangerous stuff. You see that? Like, you almost got D-max. Almost. You were so close. Again, we're just... bro, my voice is dying, bro. We're just in. We don't need to go in. Literally just wait, like, half a second. Wait, then peek, because then we're going to get all of our resources back. Like our DM, right? Then we can go in. So, this is fine. We have Bob. Good time to go in. Nice. So again, by the way, your Ashe is carrying you. I know it looks like you're doing the most, but you're really not. I promise you, you're not like you're not dying a lot, and that's what's helping you. But you could be doing so much more than just not dying. You could, bro, you could unironically drop like a 50 bomb this game. I'm not kidding. I think this is definitely like a 50-40 bomb lobby, for sure. Literally, don't. If I see you do anything other than sit on this corner, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm serious. You do not need to do anything right now. They have to come to you just to stop the payload. There we go. That's unfortunate. Like, literally just like chill here. That's it. Stop taking damage. Stop. Because you taking damage is forcing your supports to heal you when they don't need to, because you're already behind the wall, right? And your supports having to heal you is, guess what? It's stopping them from healing your Xion when she actually needs it. Now, is she throwing? Yes. But they could have potentially helped her if they weren't busy with you. And now that you're down a teammate, it's just going to be fucked. And like now you're going to be like, oh yeah, man, my team is shit. Cannot believe that worked. I cannot believe like any of this worked. Okay, you get nanoed. Okay, we kill Farah. Now I'd say probably just get out. Yeah. It's like there. Like this was good. I'm going to tell you, this is like you're in. This is good. In. Nanoed. In. But then once we start to lose our resources, right? Once we're kind of in this position, you need to really think, okay, do I want to keep going in, or could it be too dangerous? I'd say be wary. Because you don't have a lot of your defense matrix. Your nano's going to run out. You're going to start to take a bunch of damage. And then you might end up dying. I can't speak today. What you would want to do is chill a little bit. And then because you've distracted them enough, then your Xion's going to go in with her ultimate. And then when she's in, they're going to look at her. And then by the time, you know, your teammates have probably healed you at this point, then you can go in to capitalize off of that engagement. This is kind of what you've been missing. And it's like you've got the engage part down, but you don't have the disengage part down. And that's kind of an issue. So I'm going to give you a graph that should put things into perspective then. Let me bring it up very, very quickly. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to display capture, and we're going to do this. So imagine tank value as like a big kind of graph like this. And I want to use Winston for this example because he's a lot simpler. Okay. The ideal kind of Winston like gameplay loop, and like this is like the value, and then this is like over time, okay? The ideal graph is going to look something like this. Okay? It's going to look something a little bit like this. Why? Well, because these peaks are going to be his engages. When you've got bubble and you're actively shooting. This is like the peak of his engage. And now let me show you something. To get like the break point in value, let's imagine this line is like you have to get like above this line to win. To win, to get value, okay? You have to get above this line to win. And playing Winston the optimal way, sure, a lot of your gameplay is going to be lower value because, you know, you're going to be poking, you can't be in, you can't use bubble to like defend yourself, right? And that's okay because all of this is just biding time for you to get your bubbles, right? Imagine in the troughs of this, it's like when your bubble is off, is on cooldown, you can't really get a lot of value. But then like the less time there is on the cooldown, you're going to slowly get more value because you're going to be setting up, you're going to be getting closer. Why? Because you have your bubble, you're getting ready to engage. And then once you have your bubble, this is when you kind of jump in, and then you shoot, you pop bubble here, and this is at the peak of your value. And then slowly, as the bubble starts to kind of get destroyed, it gets broken. You're not really getting a lot of value anymore, and you don't want to risk dying. So then you jump out. But you can only win the fight if you have these peaks. The same thing can be said for D.Va, okay? Except her like values are going to look a bit different. So you can get a little bit more consistent value just from kind of using defense matrix. So like you defense matrix, you run out. You have the defense matrix, maybe you're rotating, defense matrix, run out. And like this is just like the neutral. But then sometimes you're gonna get massive peaks in value. Why? Because this is when you fly in, you use your micro missiles, and you use your defense matrix to help you. And this is going to get you a ton of value. And this spike is going to be how you actually win the fight. Now, what you're doing on D.Va specifically is that you're mostly just doing like this. Right? This is what your gameplay looks like usually. And you only reach that line very rarely, you see. Like you're doing a lot, like the average uptime is a lot higher than like these two, right? Imagine just as like an arbitrary number. Your uptime is like a 5 at this point. And then these are like 2, and then this is a 5, right? This is like 2, this is a 5. Sure, you have like average uptime of like 5, right? And like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But you rarely reach the required amount of like 6, for example, to actually win the fight. Like you're constantly, like you're going in, but then you're not doing a lot. You don't really have defense matrix. So then you reach the trough, and then maybe you get a good engage every once in a while, but then it goes all the way down because you're trying to go in and and like you're trying to engage, but you have no boosters, no missiles, so there's no point, no health, and like you keep doing this over and over, and it's not a very efficient way to play tank. The way you want to play tank, and specifically these dive tanks, is very much these high peaks, and sometimes you're not going to be doing a lot, right? High peaks. Sometimes you are going to do stuff. Like sometimes you're going to have this, but that has to be tactical. Most of the time though, it's really going to look like this, right? You have really high peaks of value because this is where you've got all of your CDs, all of your HP, and then you just engage on the enemies. And then you have no CDs, not a lot of health. You're waiting for them to recharge. This is like after you're engaged. This is when you get behind the corner, and then slowly you're getting healed. You're getting your cooldowns back, and then at this point you're setting up, and then you booster in, or you jump in, or you walk in, use all of your value, get a kill, force out cooldowns, and then you go back. Maybe like you have to play in this weird limbo stage for a little bit, but you don't want to play in it for too long, right? I don't know if this makes any sense, but basically you need to take the chill pill when you play tank. Otherwise, though, you don't have too many big issues. Like you know how to use the cooldowns. You're just kind of using them poorly, okay? And other than this like big issue with your gameplay macro wise, you just have 2 issues with the engages themselves, right? I've already kind of gone over them. So issue number 1 is the timing, right? You have no follow-up because your team can't see you, and you usually end up 1v5ing because when you go in on your own, usually the enemy team isn't really set up to try and attack your team, so they all just shoot you, and then you die. The second issue is that you go in front. And I didn't really go in depth in this, but basically, because you're not off-angling, like when you're engaging, it's easy to use cooldowns on you, like sleep, spear, turret form, stuff like that. And it's also easy to know, like, what you're going to do. Because if they see you jumping from in front of you, it's going to be easy to react and hide so that your teammates can't kill them, right? But other than that, you're a pretty decent player, but you're definitely not a mid to high Masters player. Let me tell you that. The reason why you have these loss streaks is because your like plateau of skill only gets you to this point. And sometimes you get a bit higher, but then you'll go D rank because you're at this point and you're in these harder lobbies that you can't really compete in, and then you D rank. But anyway, it's really hot in this room. I'm gonna end the video. Let me know if you've got any questions, person that I reviewed this for, and I'll be happy to answer them. And to anyone else, if you found this helpful, you can get coaching. First link in the description. And if you like how I really go in depth explaining different concepts in this game, you can go check out my Overwatch school. I have all of my advanced in detail information over there. I've got hero guides, mentality guides, how to actually practice guides, fundamentals guides, all that good stuff. You can go check that out. I'll see you guys later. Peace.